Usually, a car company makes money by stamping metal, right? Like metal in, money out. But today's deep dive looks at how Rivian essentially stopped being a traditional car company.
Yeah, they basically flipped massive hardware losses into this equity-surging software empire almost overnight. It is wild.
It really is. And we're pulling from corporate financial data, automotive reviews, and their strategic roadmaps for this. Our mission here is to uncover the modern blueprint for surviving the pretty brutal automotive industry.
Right, because it is not easy out there right now for EV startup.
No, it's not. Okay, let's unpack this. How did Rivian flip from massive 2024 losses to a Q4 2025 gross profit driven almost entirely by software? I mean, that triggered a massive 26.6% equity surge.
Well, it's a total identity shift. If you look at those Q4 2025 financials, their actual automotive gross profit ran a $59 million loss.
Ouch. Yeah, that's a big hit.
Right, but that hardware loss was completely wiped out by a massive $179 million profit in software and services. And a huge chunk of that came from a really lucrative joint venture with Volkswagen.
Wait, why is Volkswagen paying Rivian for software? I mean, VW is huge.
They are, but VW is a legacy manufacturing giant, and they're really struggling to write good code for their electric vehicles. So they're essentially paying Rivian for a shortcut.
Oh, got it. So they're licensing Rivian's underlying software architecture to power VW's future cars.
Exactly, and what's fascinating here is how this strategy insulates Rivian from the chaotic volatility of physical vehicle sales. They are making millions without having to bend a single piece of steel.
Wow. It's like selling a subsidized smartphone just to lock users into a highly profitable app store ecosystem.
That is a perfect analogy.
But I do have to push back a little because automotive reviews praise Rivian's hardware. Like the new R1 quad motor has a staggering 1,025 horsepower.
Oh yeah, the hardware itself is incredible.
Right, but those same reviews heavily criticize their erratic HVAC software. They basically say the climate control is so buggy, it leaves passengers sweating in the back seat.
Yeah, I saw those reviews too.
So, if they are still struggling to write code for basic air conditioning, can they really pull off becoming a software-first company?
Well, that is exactly the vulnerability they have to solve, because there's a massive catch to this whole software strategy. To generate billions, like an app store, you need millions of daily users.
Right. You can't just sell low-volume luxury trucks anymore.
Exactly. They're forced to step into the most brutal arena in the auto industry with their make-or-break $45,000 mass-market vehicle, which is the R2.
And, a glitchy air conditioner at $80,000 might be a luxury annoyance, but a systemic software failure in a mass market launch, that's a death sentence.
A complete death sentence. So their rollout strategy was hyper-cautious. They instituted this employee-first delivery mandate.
Oh, right. There's a specific anecdote in their roadmaps about VIN number 5, wasn't there?
Yeah, a glacier white R2 driven cross-country by a factory employee.
Yeah.
From Illinois to California, just to relentlessly stress test the hardware and software before retail consumers ever touch it.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Wait, they gave VIN number 5 to a factory worker for a cross-country drive?
They did, yeah.
That feels less like, cautious testing and more like they're absolutely terrified of a public PR disaster. I mean, are they essentially just using their own staff as beta testers to protect their stock price before the public gets the keys?
I mean, it's definitely a calculated move to shield their brand equity from early adopter bugs. You have to admit it's smart.
Oh, totally.
But to actually convince you, the general public, to buy the R2, Rivian had to solve two massive hurdles: offering elite technology on a budget and completely eliminating range anxiety.
Right, because nobody buys an EV if they think they'll end up stranded on the highway.
Exactly. So they introduced their Autonomy Plus suite. It runs on a custom 5-nanometer chip called the RAP1, which integrates directly with the car's LiDAR.
And LiDAR are those laser sensors used for self-driving, right?
Yep, exactly.
And a 5-nanometer chip is incredibly power efficient, which matters because in a gas car, a bulky computer just burns a little more gas. But in an EV, an inefficient computer literally drains your driving range.
Spot on. It's very much like Apple's strategy, By controlling both the brain and the body of the device, the custom REP1 chip processes LiDAR data instantly without draining the battery.
That makes so much sense.
And they're pricing the self-driving tech at a disruptive $2,500 one-time fee, or $50 a month, which actually helped secure a massive deal for up to 50,000 Uber robotaxis.
Wow. And what about the range anxiety piece?
Well, they neutralized that by natively integrating the North American charging standard. That's the exact plug Tesla uses.
Oh, so Rivian drivers instantly get access to thousands of superchargers without needing those clunky adapters.
Exactly. And on top of that, they opened 93% of their own Rivian Adventure network to other EVs.
So what does this all mean? Like, for you listening, why should you care?
It's a great question.
Because Rivian's aggressive $2,500 pricing model for the Autonomy Plus suite is a shot across the bow. It basically forces the entire auto industry to lower the cost of autonomous tech for everyday consumers.
It really is a profound disruption. Their whole survival blueprint relies on this triad: software revenue insulation, rigorous internal testing on vehicles like the R2, and a democratized charging network.
It totally changes how we view car ownership. I mean, think about that $2,500 autonomy software.
Right. It stays tied to the car's physical VIN and transfers on the secondary market.
Exactly. We started this deep dive talking about metal stamping versus software. If physical cars are just becoming depreciating hardware shells for software algorithms that actually hold the value, at what point do you stop buying a car and start buying a driving algorithm?
That is the ultimate question.
Think about that next time you hit the road.